to the wisdom flow. Revenue ramp, let's go, let's go.
So, hi everybody. Welcome to the RevRag AI podcast today. I'm Arushi. I'm your host for today's session. And this is episode number 18. Our guest today is Vipul Sharma. He is the head of growth at SBI Securities, where he leads the digital revenue growth. Welcome to today's episode, Vipul. We are super glad that you could make it.
Yeah, thanks a lot for inviting me.
So, Vipul, let's start by you giving a brief intro about your journey up till now.
So I started off as a coder. Then I did my MBA, went to Standard Chartered Bank in the wealth management space, and pretty much have been in the BFSI space since then in different roles. Currently at SBI Securities and trying to like achieve the true potential of SBI Securities.
Awesome. Vipul, you mentioned you went from being a coder to wealth management completely. How did that happen? Like, can you tell us in brief?
Yeah, I mean, I loved coding. In fact, I still love coding. The logic building, I'm good at that, and more than that, spending time there really excites me. But one thing that I missed there was things they came as a requirement to me, and like satisfaction was missing. So henceforth, I decided I'll do my MBA and try to switch to a management role.
Okay, all right. So, Vipul, a bit more into what you are doing currently. In wealth, the initial relationship is always built on, the first handshake and trust. So, when you design a digital journey, which is when you scale to millions of users, how do you do that without losing that personalized touch with the users?
Firstly, I'm in SBI Security, so I have the SBI brand with me. So I already have the trust. That's always an added advantage. But I believe it's just the stakes of the table, and the game has just started. I mean, trust isn't just a logo in the BFSI space. It's about predictability, systemic reliability. Suppose if a user's portfolio doesn't load instantaneously, they will not think, oh, the server is slow. What they'll think is my money safe? So identifying that and trying to bring up solutions which give them a seamless experience is what we try to do. Here, what we do is we try to focus on a concept that I have coined to be invisible broking. 3 pillars for it. The first one being zero error tolerance. I'm not saying that we're following that 100%, but we're trying to do that. So whenever you build a BFSI product, you'll realize that there are a lot of edge cases because there's a lot of complexity. Covering all of those edge cases from the start so that the user never experiences a system error is what we try to do. 1. 2, we're trying to build predictive UX by monitoring the digital body language of the customer. We're trying to figure out where to land the customer or the changes that the customer would need in the app so that they feel the app understands them. And the third one being the biggest one, availability and assurance. So what happens is that when you're dealing at scale, a lot of times there'll be failures in servers or maybe API failures or multiple things due to which we are not able to give seamless experience to clients. And it's not necessary that it has to be with us. It can also be there with third-party vendors or companies. And we, as a company, we really want to ensure backups and fallbacks so that there is high uptime. Because in trading, if we make any mistake or if there's any downtime, there's monetary loss to the client. So, and that's something that we really don't want. We want to give top-notch services.
Great. You've also worked at multiple institutions before SBI. I want to understand, are there any organizational frictions, be it legacy thinking or any other issues that tend to affect a smooth customer journey?
If you ask me, in order to give a top-notch digital journey or digital service, one thing which is kind of pulling every bit down is silos. It has to be the biggest one because people understand their work very well. I've seen that there are people who know what is to be done. They have visibility of data or maybe trends. So they have some insights which they don't share with anyone else. And to be honest, the organization does not benefit from that because it just stays in silo. I guess to solve this, every org, every big org especially, should have multi-team or multi-function ideation meetings so that they are able to come up with brilliant ideas. And one more thing is that I've seen people are coming up with good ideas. There is a level, a hierarchy that you have to follow for that idea to come to the person who is kind of evaluating it and implementing it. And that gap is huge. One example could be maybe an operations guy. If they have something, some idea through which the customer experience would be better, like they go to the next level and they pitch, and the next level, if they reject, that's the end of the idea. And I really love the way Amazon has solved that. What they do is that whenever someone has an idea and if they pitch to someone senior, and if the senior rejects, they have to clearly say why have they rejected, and they have to post it on a common portal where everyone can read and debate. So that's that's a way to collaborate and get new ideas.
Vipul, I read it in your bio that you prioritize PLG, product led growth. If there has been a massive change from a simple UX change rather than changing or adding a very complex feature into the journey, has it happened in your journey with any product?
Yes. A lot of times, in fact, the final output that you'll get from an enhancement or the product launch, it's never on the complexity or the fanciness of the solution, but it's rather the pain that the product is or the solution is trying to solve. If you are able to find out small hacks, it kind of can give you multifold outputs by doing like almost negligible changes. And one thing that I can maybe tell you guys is that we realized that it was late in maybe 2019 that there are people who trade in delivery who kind of have the swing trading attitude. So they buy stocks and sell stocks maybe in a month or so, but they don't use MTF. So MTF is a very good product if you're good in swing trading. I mean, it's not there for everyone. So I mean, if you're okay with leverage, you can take that. But I observed that people do that, take delivery, but they don't use MTF. And when I called up those customers and tried to figure out why they didn't like trade in MTF, I figured out the biggest thing is it's because they don't know MTF. So it was not that they don't want MTF. It was more like they didn't know what is MTF. What is MTF? So whenever a customer, they were trying to place a delivery order, we just get them a small nudge that hey, like you can buy maybe 4x the same quantity, or you can basically pay only 25% and get the stock. And once you click on that, kind of give a small education, because there are a lot of complexities involved in MTF. So trying to educate the user upfront so that they don't feel any challenges in the later portion of their investment journey. So yeah, we did that, and the output was phenomenal. So like I cannot give you numbers. Our MTF book kind of grew by 70-80%, like only because of this.
So that's massive. That's insane. I will ask a few questions related to this very specific point wherein the users got some nudges that, okay, they could probably not just do swing trades, but also do MTF. But that'll come down the line. Now, Vipul, I want to ask a few pointers around AI and AI agents, if I may. Beyond the customer acquisition cost, what kind of costs are hidden in a suboptimal digital journey? Where are such hidden costs?
Hidden costs are everywhere, but like out of these, if you tell me to choose one, it might be customer support, because customer support is critical for retention. And I've seen that for journeys which involves money and has a lot of complexities, like there are a lot of moving parts, and the customer, if they're not aware of why it happened or when will it be resolved, it really puts us in a very bad situation. And more than that, there can also be a problem at our end, And if we're not able to address that on time, it's a problem. Um, and with this level of knowledge requirement, I think so there might be some misses at the customer support end. But yes, definitely all of this can be solved through a major portion of it. I'm not telling all, but at least the key ones, if you're able to go with the Pareto principle and identify those 20% of things, which kind of is the 80% of customer support queries, I'm pretty sure we can solve that. But that's one part. But another piece is also losing out on cross sell opportunities. So it might also happen in customer support where the customer is coming and they're maybe asking something about mutual funds. And you know that, okay, the ticket size is what they're trying to do is greater than 50 lakhs. So it might be an opportunity to sell PMS. But would customer support do that? I really doubt. So yeah, there are misses at that end, and when solutions like AI based calling, all of that comes up, and it's really well adopted by the industry, I'm pretty sure it will solve that problem of having a different agent for customer service and a different agent for sales. But yes, like few things. One is a lower funnel drop off. So I've seen that currently, I mean, we target the lower funnel dropouts, we give them nudges, we bring them back, we can see uplift versus control group, the total like impact it is kind of having, and it's huge. So that's the biggest piece I would say from a digital journey. If you're doing that, you'll get a lot of benefit.
Just one question, Vipul. When you say nudges, what kind of nudges are you talking about?
So when I say nudges, I mean it can be on the app, it can be push notification, it can be WhatsApp, email, SMS, omni channel basically. And that can be decided basis the customer's preference. I mean, AI can decide what is the customer liking, and more than that, if the customer is on the app, just do it on the app. I mean, that's the best way you reach out to the customer. So if you know that a customer has kind of checked mutual funds with you 1 week back, and when they're coming back to the app, and you know that, hey, you checked out XYZ mutual fund, and then you give some more details around it. Hey, like the cost benefit analysis of this mutual fund. Should you buy this mutual fund or not? Get the detailed review, all of that. If you're able to build that, which is pretty easy, I would say, because there are a lot of APIs which are available and you can get kind of like orchestrate the entire journey. Uh, it just gives you a very personalized and a good experience. However, I mean, that's maybe reaching out to the customer after some time. The best time would be to proactively understand what's happening, whether it's a drop off, and trying to engage with the customer as soon as possible.
Makes absolute sense. Because the goal is to catch the customer from dropping at that very point and
Right.
retain them.
Customers, they might think about doing one thing, and if they don't do it, there's a possibility they might just skip doing it later. They're like, okay, not required. It's just that during that moment, they feel like this is important, but later on, it just changes.
Mm-hmm. That's why it's important to act upon that very moment and just
Yes.
like sales.
Yeah.
So support is just like sales. Got it. So I have some specific use cases, Vipul. So let's say maybe e-signing or maybe funding an account. Let's say there's an embedded AI agent. What real-time signals should this embedded agent monitor in order to step in and try to save the deal or save the user from dropping?
Okay, talking about e-sign. So I'd say firstly, we should track errors because in e-sign, a lot of time the Aadhaar portal is just down. So you monitor failure reasons while we do that currently, but it's always post facto. Like, I mean, I cannot monitor the same metric the entire day. For me, when I'm monitoring things, it can maybe done in few hours, and I realize, okay, something is happening, but it's just too late. The fallback implementation takes time. What we can do is AI can monitor all the failure reasons in real time and also have the preventive guidelines set. So if this happens, do this. If this happens, we fall back to that. So that would really help. Apart from that, we can also see if there is any friction in the journey, maybe by seeing the repetitive field clicking behavior of a client. You'll kind of figure that out. Or maybe tab switching. Tab switching can be a good thing that, hey, the customer is also doing something else. Maybe watching the how-to video or anything. Uh, that's when you kind of frequently switch tab. Okay, this is the next step you do. Again, you come back. So if it can monitor those tabs, it can monitor the typing rhythm, the long pauses, and yeah, I guess there are a lot of things which can be done. Now we can also kind of integrate it with the escalation customer service. I mean, whenever we understand that hey, there's a friction which is detected, so kind of directly transfer customer to a live agent who can kind of assist. And that can also be AI, by the way, first level. The second level can be user if the AI is not able to solve.
Correct, correct. Thanks a lot for those points. Really important ones. Now, if I were to ask a little about the compliance guardrails, what do you think are some non-negotiable ethical guardrails that you insist on when deploying Gen AI into customer-facing journeys or high-ticket size journeys like yours?
Okay. So in BFSI, whenever you talk about errors that like you pitch a wrong solution to the client, or the risk suitability was not done in line, that's just not acceptable. And there's a lot of regulator scrutiny, and I guess that's the reason BFSI adoption towards AI has been pretty slow versus the rest of the industry. And to solve that, I guess there are a few things you guys can undo. One is move towards explainable AI. So currently, whenever there is any issue, for example, if there was a compliance requirement which was not met, what happens is that we then go to the dealer, we then check the recordings, what was told, what was missed, and we try to solve that case. There is always someone who is kind of responsible for that piece. So maybe we can implement explainable AI, which can kind of create an immutable audit trail. So if that is in place, you can always tell the regulator why this was done, and you can like always go and check it. Second is you continuously have to audit the algo. So while you have put in guardrails in place, I mean, algos can have biases that we've seen in past as well. Maybe if you're talking about loans, it's not doing that based on CIBIL, but rather discriminating based on race, gender, age, or whatever. So while it might be right from a data point of view, that ideally should not be there in and come there in the model. So firms should continuously audit the algo so that that does not happen.
Interesting. Hallucinations is one thing that I've seen a lot of people facing issues with. And this is one thing that I've heard a lot of people say when I ask them, like, what are a few issues that you face with AI? I personally think that with a lot of models coming in, like we just got Gemini 3.5 and a lot of other LLMs coming in, this problem might improve in the...
Definitely, with every model, I would say with I'm also kind of implementing a lot of projects using AI apart from work, and I'm seeing drastic improvement like every time a new model is rolled out. And seeing that pace of improvement, it's just phenomenal, I would say. So hallucination has definitely decreased. I mean, I'd say maybe one thing that AI was not good at in the Gen AI piece of generating images was that it was never able to ensure that the text that we have written, it's exactly the same. If you give it, it will just give you some random gibberish a lot of times. And that was the major challenge in generating creatives like from a company's perspective. But now you have models like Nano Banana, which kind of do that so awesomely. And I mean, so there's a lot of control which has maybe coming to us as AI becomes powerful and powerful.
Vipul coming...
Just one thing.
Sure.
I also have one more point of view on hallucination. So while we talk about hallucination that AI can go wrong, but to be honest, humans can also go wrong, right? So if I'm talking about human-based sales right now, there is a possibility that we might not meet all the compliance. Well, I mean, there are measures into place, there are checks into place, but still, like, we are humans, we can also make errors. So I'd say if you're able to explain all the errors, as I just like told some time back, it should be acceptable ideally. But again, the problem is that who will take the responsibility? Then
Exactly.
that's the biggest bottleneck, if you ask me.
Exactly. That's a very interesting point that you just mentioned. As we come closer to the ending, I have two more questions for you. One
Okay.
is, what is one legacy process that you feel is completely ready for a transformation? I mean, not just a digital transformation, but a complete rebuild, probably, let's say, in the next 2 to 3 years.
Okay. I'd say everything starts from business. Like whenever something new comes in, adoption is always towards business first. Like, for example, AI is come in, so we are like talking about AI sales, but something which kind of gives you good ROI. Um, but what companies normally miss is like there is ROI beyond just revenue, and that's in operational resilience, and that's what I feel that is the legacy process which needs to be changed. Someone has to go inside and implement a lot of things, especially because in operations I've seen that. I mean, currently, if you want to implement AI, obviously you have to be a domain expert, and you need to have all the models or the tech. But not many companies focus on, because that seems to be boring. But at the same time, there's a lot of opportunity to like do a lot of stuff and kind of give phenomenal customer service whenever a KYC is done. So there is a lot of manual activities which are there in backend. So if we can kind of automate those, or maybe if we go to day-to-day operations, pretty sure AI can do a very good job there. Initially, maybe as every company starts, we can start with initially AI doing everything and human at the end to check if everything is okay. But once we are confident, we can definitely scale that.
So, what you mean is not just implementing AI in customer facing solutions, but also internally in your teams.
Exactly.
Increase the efficiency, and then which kind of
Very well put.
got it, got it. All right. If you had to create a new financial product from scratch today, what would be the minimum AI capability that you would have in it to stay competitive?
Okay, so for me, I'd say to stay competitive would be to have a fair shot in doing something extraordinary. If I like define maybe the MVI in that sense, I would have to involve AI in every domain, like be it marketing, compliance, then sales, analytics, operations, strategy, everywhere. And yeah, so logically kind of build a lot of AI agents who would talk among themselves, and maybe also ensure there's a healthy AI agent to human domain expert ratio, maybe 3:1. You can say that. So for every three agents, you have one human who's kind of oversight on them. So yeah, that can be a good start. I mean, that's how I imagine it to be.
Amazing, amazing. AI is communicating amongst each other and getting things done, and then there would be probably one human at
That's
the end.
how we get more value, to be honest. I mean, if human in the loop just slows things down. I mean, I don't have the exact numbers. I wish I had it, but when two people communicate, the amount of data exchange that they're able to do, AI is like million times ahead of that, and that's the most critical aspect of ensuring that there are no Chinese whispers. Everyone knows everything, and like it's just super optimized.
And saves time as well. Like even if
Yeah,
something is missed, if something is mentioned once, it stays in the context and the body.
Yeah, and the context window is just increasing. Cloud Opus has maybe 1 million context window. Gemini has even like greater than that. That's insane number of tokens. Yeah.
All right. So Vipul, we are done for this session. Thank you so much for coming in, and you gave a lot of interesting and important pointers on how you think AI would bring value for the business and users. Thanks a lot for coming today and giving your insights.
Yeah, pleasure, Arushi. I hope I didn't bore you.
No, not at all. Thanks, Vipul.
Yeah, thank you.